Larry's Library. Welcome to check-in number 14. And I've got the dynamic duo, the Comic Slayer, Mary M., and
Hey,
the Comic Slayer's
Yay.
husband, Reid.
Woohoo.
They're
that's what you're
all
known
here
as
with
now,
me.
Reid.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Yep. And this week we're going to mainly cover all of the autographs that these two managed to get from me at HeroesCon. Now, some of this material's already been covered. Of course, the now infamous Roy Thomas rant, the line that Kristan stood in.
It's not
But
okay.
you haven't seen the results of it until now. So,
Right. Today's like the payoff, right, Kristan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone
better
hasn't,
be.
or if anyone hasn't heard, Kristen's feet were hurting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to see the
Yeah.
doctor.
And I waited in this terrible line.
Wow.
yes.
What a great daughter.
So this
I
is one
didn't-
of the things they brought. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I just want to point out that I deserve some credit because I drove Kristan there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's true.
I didn't stand
Did,
in
did-
any
did
line.
you drive the whole way
but-
yourself?
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive. You didn't switch off.
No, I don't.
He never wants me to. I always offer, and he's like, no.
She always offers, but then also she doesn't want to.
Mm.
Like she
I
offers, and I'm
would,
like, "Do you
though.
want to drive?" And you're like, "I want to drive if you don't want to drive." And I'm like, "I'd rather just drive then."
Reid, that's like she's setting you up to say, do you?
Exactly.
Next
Exactly.
time, say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Mary, I got to cover you for a minute. Bam. Right
That's
over,
okay.
Mary. All right.
So,
James Abel's here. Thanks, James, for showing up.
Hey, James.
hi, James.
You know, I got a real challenge for you, James. If you could link up not only the stream Kristan did that awesome rant in, but if you could timestamp the link
Wow.
so people can go directly to that, that would be awesome.
You don't want them to watch the whole thing. How rude.
Well, if they want to get right to that, they can always rewind and watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
you need
that's the
to.
majority of it anyway, right?
Yeah, I feel like.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
need to
about
clip.
majority.
You need to clip it and put out a YouTube short of your rant.
It'd be not
YouTube
it'd be
shorts.
too short. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't
it'd be
do a
too
short,
short.
but do a short video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with
TikTok.
Larry. I'm with Larry on hating on the YouTube shorts. Get those out of my feed on my TV.
I
Can't
hate them so much.
can't
I
stand
hate-
them.
Oh my God, I hate them. It's the worst. It's like you try to take all of the worst aspects of the abomination that is TikTok and shove it into YouTube forcibly, whether we want it or not.
Well, here's
Dad,
the thing. If
You've
I'm
never
on-
sounded older.
Yeah, but
I
I got
know, but
as the second oldest in this group, I'd like to back Larry up and say, listen, if we're scrolling on our phones and we're on the YouTube app, I'm fine. That's on us. But if we're in the comfort of our home watching YouTube on our TVs, and almost I want
Right.
to say on my laptop too, get it off the screen. I want the option to click on, please make these go away. Thank
well,
you.
now here's the thing. I watch most of my YouTube on this magnificent 24-inch, 4K monitor
Mhm.
on the PC.
Okay.
And there is an option on the desktop YouTube where
Oh,
you
wow.
can turn off that. You can X out the shorts from your feed, but it says we won't put these up again for 30 days.
Mm.
So then 30 days later, you have to do it again.
All right, I have to go. Thank you for telling me that. I have to go look for it and click on it immediately.
I thought you were gonna say like you're leaving to do it.
Yeah, you're like, I'll be right back.
I watch YouTube on my TV primarily.
Okay.
I
Okay.
never see a short.
You're so lucky.
It doesn't pop
Yeah.
up on my I use my Xbox One to watch YouTube. Maybe it's something about that app. I don't know.
Oh,
They're never on there. If I'm scrolling my phone with YouTube or my iPad, they're there.
got it.
But on my TV, it never happens.
Well, one last thing about this. When you say I'm old, this
I didn't
is
say
what
you're
I tell
old. I
people.
said you've never sounded older when
Okay,
you said the
but-
abomination of TikTok.
Okay, that's fair. But I'm saying here's what I'm saying. All these people that are making these skyscraper videos, right? 16 by 9 upside down or twisted, whatever, however you want to call that.
Like the photo we're looking at.
Yes.
Like this photo, that shape.
I'm aware of what it is. I'm just saying.
Right. Okay. When you're doing
We
a
did
video
it.
like that of your grandkid, of your cat, of your dog, of your whatever you're doing that you love, right? Now I'm going to say fast forward 30 years from now, 40 years from now, you're old, you're sitting on your couch, you're watching your giant 70-inch holographic screen or something, right? And you're going, why the hell did I do this? Why am I looking at this skinny strip in the middle of this wall video I've got here? You're going to be mad you did it that
Or
way.
we cut to then where everybody turns their TV on the side.
Whoa.
But that was tried. They actually marketed one like that, and it failed horribly because it sucks. Because the human eye doesn't see that way. We're attuned for widescreen, not. If we were tuned the other way, our eyes would be like this instead of like this.
Mary, I knew when you said it, this was going to happen. He was going to go on and on because all my
Listen,
life he's talked about this.
But I have real anger towards YouTube Shorts, so
yeah.
I'm ready to jump on this. I'm ready. I have serious anger issues over YouTube Shorts.
You know what the worst part about it is, Mary?
Tell me.
The controls. There's no controls. Half your controls disappear that you have in a regular video. I'm talking about as a viewer.
Right.
Ugh. I could just burn the building down that created it.
Oh no! Come
I
back,
was just
Kristan.
leaving.
Come back.
Anyway, this is one of the things you guys brought me back. This is Jeff Jusko painting. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so funny. When we saw these, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't realize it was for next year, which is still very cool. In my mind, it was for the one that we were at. So goes to show, Larry, right? How we read from left to right and everything like that when we view things.
Yeah, not up and down. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was the size of this print that confused me.
Yeah, and these are all 11 by 17.
Yes.
You guys knew that, but some people may not have known that. William Lee's here. Good morning, y'all.
I will.
Hey, William.
I remember all those 90s Marvels cards. Oh, that were painted like that? That's probably what he's talking about. Okay, so what do I got next here? So this was Randy Green. This is a con cover that I did not go to, but I got this on eBay years ago. Always loved it. And so what was Randy Green like?
That guy wouldn't shut up. That guy would not stop talking. To the point.
You mean that in a positive way?
I don't know. There was a point where I'm just like, Randy, my feet are hurting. I gotta go. I gotta leave. And then there became a lull in the conversation. He's very nice, but he just wouldn't shut up. There became a lull in the conversation at the end. And he hadn't signed my comic or handed it back. So I just pointed down at the comic.
That must have been awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward. Anyway,
he wasn't an old guy, right?
Shut up.
Was he an older guy?
No.
No.
Here's the thing. I would maybe say, Reid was like, wait, Kristan, you mean that in a positive way, right? I would maybe say that Randy was quite friendly. He was talking to us about Baltimore Comic-Con, if we've ever been there before. And he was like sharing stories from going to that con. And he said it was similar to Heroes in the sense that it's all about the books, all about the creators, But yeah, he was chatty, and it did get to that awkward point. I almost think that's why he was talking so much, because he was probably thinking, are these two going to go away or what? Right. Because we were just standing there, but I think he just totally forgot. Like he forgot that he didn't sign the book. Right. So it was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the art on this cover because it's about at the max amount of cartoony that I kind of like. You know what I mean? There's a cartoony element here, but it's not too cartoony for my taste.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you get to meet him, Reid, or were you busy too much?
No, I didn't. I don't think I got to meet anybody on your autograph list other than William Stout.
Okay. Okay. Speaking of William Stout, so we got this big book here, which I haven't got to look at a whole lot yet. So I'm still not exactly sure what it is, but it's Comics Journal material. Is all of it Comics Journal?
Yeah, I think so. It's, from what I understand, because I flipped through it a little bit more, it is like a special edition version of a Comics Journal issue that had a big feature on William Stout.
Okay.
And so it's just it's like just put out in that weird big square format. And then he did the cover, and then also they talk a lot about the art, but it's like a full Comics Journal issue as well. So there's other Comics Journal material in there.
I used to get the Comics Journal back in the day. I mean, not regularly, but I had a pretty good stack at one time. But yeah, I love his art. He signed way up there at the top.
Yeah, that's annoying.
It's so
That's the
nice.
only that is the only thing that's bothersome is that when I saw him do it, like, and he was very nice, and I got to him before the convention started, so I was kind of like, or it was like maybe right when like the VIP opened, so I was like, I know he'll be selling stuff, and he was talking to this one guy, and then so he's talking a lot to this one guy, and then so he talks to me for a little bit, but then the only negative thing is he just couldn't get his phone to work. So I like was standing there forever trying to watch him like get his phone app so I could pay. And then he's just the whole time I remember thinking, I was like, he's not that old. Like I was like, he doesn't look that old. Like he
How
looks
do you
really
think he is?
I think he's probably in his 70s.
Okay.
I think
I
I
figured he'd
remember
be at least that.
I think I remember looking it up, and I could be wrong, but like I remember thinking while sitting there, I was like, oh, he's a cool looking older guy. Like he had like a leather jacket. He's
He's
wearing like
73.
73. So I was like, he doesn't look like he's that old. And then when he was having trouble with his phone, I was like, there it is.
I
But-
shot another video with my cousin Elmo the other day, and I was editing it, and I pulled some movie posters because we touched on, well, it's hard to explain, but it's related to the plot in that book, the Reckless book 2. But one of the posters I pulled to use in there was his William Stout's Rock and Roll High School movie poster.
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool.
Well,
And I
what
had
he did-
forgotten that he had done that, but it's awesome.
Yeah, that's probably like that's the biggest thing that I know his work from. And then he also did the cover of like some of the weird tales of the Ramones stuff.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, and then he did the Life of Brian poster, that Monty Python movie, and he did a bunch of other art. And then he did art for, countless movies and countless horror movies, as well as like Jurassic Park, Land Before Time, bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's awesome. William Lee says more rants, yay. Johnny's here. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Mary, do you want me to move your position?
I'm fine. I'm secure. I'm secure with myself during this live stream. I'm good. I'll
Okay.
wave in the corner. How's that? You see me?
There you
waving?
go. So we know you're not frozen.
No
Yeah,
worries. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
though.
give us hand
Okay.
signals.
Johnny says films in the 20s and early 30s had a longer than wider aspect ratio. When films were trimmed for TV, video, etc., we lost a lot of the original image and in a few reasons for some. Yeah. Yes, some of the pan and scan they did for a while was just unwatchable. Sorry, comment was posted before being fitted. Anyway, when some shots were trimmed, we lost some, if not a lot of the reason for the shot. Yeah, exactly. Two people on the extreme left and right of the image, they're talking, and then they pan and scan, so you mainly got the middle of the table.
Mm.
Yep, it sucked. Now, while I'm on this rant, here the fulcrum has swung too far the other way, because now you've got stuff made for television screens, like Disney Plus Marvel shows, right, and Netflix shows, and they're shooting them in a narrower aspect than 16:9, even though we all have 16:9 TVs now. I'm like, what the hell? Why do we still have bars at the top and bottom? Why are you doing this pretentious shot where you're going like 235 or something instead of 16:9 proper? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I suffered through, tube TVs where widescreen meant you lost half your picture, right? But I wanted the widescreen. Then we finally get 16:9 TVs. And now they go even narrower. So you still have a black bar at the top and the bottom when you're watching friggin' Stranger Things. What?
So is that an artistic choice that's made? You mentioned
Yeah.
like it's sort of like an
Oh, yeah.
artsy thing. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. And it's just, to me, it's kind of pretentious, because if you're not going to show that on a movie screen in, ultra wide, right? If it's the product you're doing is meant for the TV screen, why would you not shoot it in 16:9?
Kristan, do you have an answer?
I just don't even care even a little bit about this. It doesn't bother me.
But isn't it weird though that we have the proper shaped screen now and
No.
they still won't shoot the video to fit it?
It's not weird because like they do like one-off screenings in like theaters and stuff for a lot of TV now. So
That's such a small thing there, right?
is it?
Oh, there's
and
an is
YouTube
it.
does it too. You got MKBHD, he won't fill the screen. I don't know. I think
Sound
it's
off in the
gone.
comments, Deb.
Yeah, exactly. Why did I imagine Larry Pinky up when saying artistic? Hey, I'm all about artistic, but if you're shooting a TV show, shoot it to fit, the 100% of screens it's being viewed on.
This will never end.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I guess I should have got my tripod extended higher so I could have got this without the skew effect, but it's hard unless you got professional mounts where you can go all the way overhead, But anyway, so this is Steve McNiven. So what was he like?
We had an awkward moment with him as well. We were waiting on this guy who was in front of us. He was flipping through his art, and Steve and his person behind the desk were just talking and 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 talking, talking. And we're just waiting, being polite, and this really annoying guy behind us was like, are you guys waiting? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, well, you could just go ahead and go. Like, he was very much like,
He was mansplaining. Let's call it
Yeah.
what it was. He was like, what are these two women doing at a con? This was like a guy behind us, not Steve.
So this was the worst of old school gatekeeping, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but the weird thing is, I think both, I know there's an age gap between myself and Kristan. I think this guy was like younger than us, both of us, I think.
I think so too.
So that was the sort of odd thing. So yeah, sorry to jump in, Kristan. But yeah, the guy, the fan, we'll call him, I was in between between the fan and Kristan. So he was like, he's just kind of like as if we didn't understand how waiting in a line worked. He's like, are you two waiting? Or you could just go. I think he's just looking at art. And I said, well, you know what? Why don't you guys go ahead of us? I didn't even want to talk to him anymore because I was about to fly off the handle at this mansplaining going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put up with that.
Yeah, so he just and then I felt bad. I was like, Kristan, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. We should have just gone up, but I just needed to get that dude away from us. So
yeah. Well, what was annoying is like he did just roll right up, and then Steve started talking to him, and I'm like, "Hi, Steve." And that's what annoys me about Steve. You saw us there.
Yeah.
You could have just been like, "Hi, how's it going?" and like invited us up to like actually. So that was annoying.
Yeah.
So he was a little annoying.
Nice, but that part was annoying.
Yes. But then he was lovely when we were talking to him.
Yeah, we wanted to not like him.
And Phil's here from Phil's Nerdyverse. Good morning, y'all.
Hey, Phil.
I like to watch his streams. If you guys haven't watched any and hear those wonderful UK and Scottish accents, it's just awesome.
Cool.
I mean, that I know that's crazy, but that's part of the appeal of the Phil's Nerdyverse live streams is hearing those glorious accents,
Oh yeah, I get that.
James, well, Larry, how do you feel about IMAX screen? I've only been to maybe one or two IMAX movies, and that was years ago. So I don't know. I'm not sure I could judge it right now. Johnny likes the IMAX.
I have a little anecdote. Kristan's like, oh no, about IMAX screens. I've seen, it was a documentary. It had to do with birds. I don't remember what it was. And then I saw another one. What was the penguin documentary that came out that was very popular?
March of the Penguins.
There it is. I saw that so I've seen two IMAX, apparently very nature themed documentaries. And I get very dizzy. Like, I feel like I'm falling out of my seat. This is a Mary issue, but it makes me very dizzy.
If I remember right, you can't really take it all in, can you? I mean, you have to sort of kind of move around, right?
It depends on where you're sitting,
you have to sit. Yeah, for me, I feel like I have to sit far back, or else I'll really get dizzy. That's all.
Phil says we had Irish, Scottish, and English last night. Just missing the Welsh for the full set. Yeah, that was awesome. I watched a lot of that, most of it. I think it's pretty good. Well, it was night for him, but it was the middle of the day for us. So
Cool.
okay, so that was an 11 by 17 Steve McNiven print.
Do you like it?
I love it. I love it a lot.
He had many to pick from, and I was like, I think you'll like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for me, this is the definitive Wolverine costume.
I thought you'd say that. Yeah.
Yeah, love the colors. So more McNiven. So this is Wolverine 66 from the Miller run. I don't know if it's the first Old Man Logan or the second, but it's in there. And you got on this one, we got Steve McNiven, the penciler, and Dexter Vines, the inker, which they did the cover and the interior. So this is awesome.
That was the bonus. I got the bonus
Yes.
too.
You got the bonus.
We need to make it clear. I got all of the autographs you asked for, and one bonus.
You did. You got everything except the people that bailed before,
Well,
after
obviously
I made the
can't get them.
list.
Not my issue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true. No, I'm not blaming you. But what? Let's see. John Romita Jr., because of course his dad died, so he didn't show. And Larry Hama canceled too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Pat Broderick.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this cover. You guys like it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the definitive.
Have you read that, Kristan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mary?
I think I read. How many trades are there? I think I maybe read the first trade. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reid, did you read it?
I think I did the same as Mary. I think I've read the first trade.
Oh, I
That's
meant
probably the whole thing,
Oh, is it?
or it's close.
Yeah.
Of the first Miller,
I was going to say, I meant to mention that Steve McNiven, after we got up to the table and were settled in, he shared a fun story. I think he was asking like where we were from. So I mentioned New Jersey, and then he told me like a fun story, how he did this one issue. And Kristan, now I can't remember what issue it was. I think it was it a Marvel Knights?
Marvel
possibly?
Knights 4, I think.
Wow, good memory.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, New Jersey. I did this one issue about the New Jersey Devil. And he's like, it's in that area. What's that area? And I said, oh, the Pine Barrens. And he's like, yes, that's it. And he was saying how I should check it out if I'm from New Jersey to see if he got New Jersey down correctly and that sort of thing. So that was a fun side story that he shared with us.
So he warmed up a little when you started talking to him.
Oh yeah. He was, once we got up there, I think the beef was that we were standing there when he or his handler or both of them could have been like, oh, you two, are you ready? Or
they were just talking to each other the whole time. And I'm like, you have a line. Like, why are you not?
Yeah, it was definitely odd that they didn't like call us up. But once we were up there, it was great. But I'm not sure what happened in between.
Let's see here. Anda 37 says, I would love to have all the Old Man Logan stuff in one omnibus. You know what? Anymore, I would like to have it in gallery editions, like maybe 2 of them.
I heard you liked those.
Yeah, I kind of love them. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show the video. I'm going to take this down and bring something else in. Hold on.
We have a video?
Yeah, I'm going to show you why I couldn't watch your live stream live the other night. Kristan, you've seen this video. Your mom shot it from the car. I was driving up the hill to our house, and look how evil this looks. Let's see.
Whoa.
Pretty short, but anyway, I'm going to play it again. How awesome is that?
That's crazy.
Now you can see my dad lives in a cornfield. So.
Yeah.
Well, my house is up at the top to the left of that hill, our house. But yeah, it looks like the hell mount was about to open up or something, right?
Yeah, we had that too.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, how do I take it away?
There we are.
Hey.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. But then, like 45 minutes after she shot that video, we lost all of our power for like 6 hours straight.
Ugh.
So that sucked.
Yeah, it's no good.
So you dislike non-standard movie aspect ratios, but like gallery edition, right? You're laughing, but the gallery is closer to the original art size. Reid will back me up there, right, Reid? At least traditional art that was done on 11 by 17 size Bristol
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, because it's a 10 by 15 is the
10
is
by-
the aspect ratio. Yeah, that's the
So-
of the actual board or what they draw on the board.
So the gallery is closer to the real deal than an Omni or a comic book for sure. Does Larry have the newly released Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb Spider-Man Gallery Edition? No, but it's on my list. You'll see.
Oh,
If we
the
get to
list.
it, hopefully we'll get to the list. So this is Dexter Vine's signature, and he inked that, and I think it's Rick Leonardi pencils, pretty sure. So it's another 11 by 17 print.
Yeah,
Pretty
he had a
fabulous.
lot of good ones, and I was like, I think I have to pick the Wolverine, for you.
So you said Dexter Vines was lovely, right?
He was what?
Lovely?
Yeah, he's super nice.
Yeah, he was like, I just thought he was like a, people say, oh, he's a cool cat. He was a cool cat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And we both bought the, Kristan, I think you gifted that to me, right? The Nightcrawler
Yeah.
one?
I did.
Kristan's so
I have it
generous.
somewhere.
Yeah, we both were like, we have to have this one too. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool.
You want me to make you big?
No,
No. Okay.
it's fine.
I have to figure out how to do it first.
Yeah, you can't
Solo
do it.
layout. So it's solo layout.
You're done. It's fine. I'm done.
Okay. So that's pretty great. Now here is your this is Astonishing X-Men 1, and I already had John Cassaday, the artist, signature on this, and that's one I got myself,
Whoa.
which that was back at Wizard World Chicago, and what was it, 2005 or 10? 5 probably.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, and so then you got Laura Martin, the colorist, to sign it.
Yeah, she was very sweet. Reid actually has more
did.
Laura Martin comments. He met her after the con.
I did. Yeah, I met her at the after party. At the Heroes store, and she was very lovely. She has cats, and so we talked about cats. She has a cat also with no teeth.
Wow.
Which I was like, we have so much to discuss. I met her husband as well, and I can't remember her husband's name. I'm sorry, but he was also very nice. They were like in line for food, and so it was just like a quick thing. And then we talked again later. She had to come in, and she bought a book from the store, which I thought this was interesting because she said Marvel was going to interview her for and ask her questions about some of this stuff, like her coloring process and things. And she was like, I can't remember coloring this and I can't find my comps. So she bought a copy of the book at the store so that when she got home, she could review it and go through it. Cause she was like, it's not worth me trying to find my copies of the book, which I thought was just funny. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
But
is
yeah,
she
she was-
older or what? How?
No, I'd say I don't know. She's probably
She's in her
Well,
50s, maybe
yeah, probably. I was going to say, yeah, she's probably,
mid 50s.
yeah.
Yeah, I still think she's one of the best colorists from
Her
the
cat with no teeth
modern age, if we want to call it.
had stomatitis, right, Reid?
I think it was FIV
Oh, okay.
positive.
Why would they get the teeth out for that?
I don't know if that was the reason, but I think she just
Gotcha.
said that she had some sickness.
Yeah,
And then also,
It's a great one.
but yeah.
Yeah, I would say it'd be nice to get Joss Whedon's on there one day, but
No, wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
You don't need that.
yeah, maybe we put it on the end of some kind of poll, and you
No, just not even worth it. It's not worth waiting in that line. You know what I mean? For that.
Yeah,
Well, he might not have a line
That's true.
yeah, he might not.
He might not be at anywhere.
ever.
Yeah, he may just
I
cancel
can't
out.
imagine him going anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be wise.
No.
There's probably people that want to hurt him physically.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
There you go, Willie.
Yeah, well, at least it's Larry. You need to get Weed autograph yourself.
Yeah.
I
would
used to
imagine.
wanna I used to want to meet him, obviously, not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. James, can't wait for the Joss Whedon rant.
I think I'd like to promise that if I was ever at a con and Kristan was there, going up to Josh's table, I am taking out my phone and I'm going to video it for everyone.
Yeah, it'd be wild.
Yeah. Your mom just texted me and said we have another storm coming, and I
Oh,
can hear it
no.
out there.
Yeah, we're supposed to get him too. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay, so this was really awesome for me to have. I want Claremont's signature on this one too one day. But this is Al Milgrom, the penciler and the interior artist. And have you guys read this Kitty Pryde and Wolverine mini?
No.
Anyone?
No, I'd like to. I've wanted to, but no.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's great. It's great. I think he's an underrated artist, and a lot of people just know him from being an editor, because he edited almost everything Marvel did from like early 80s through the mid 80s. But he was also a really good penciler, I think.
I will go on record to say he was very nice. He told us a story about that little black box on the cover. So that's omitting the barcode, right?
Right.
And back then he's like, I had the option to make it like a solid color of like, white or black or something like that. So he would like do his art. What did he say, Mary? He would do his art to like,
just sort of blend it in like that.
yeah, to blend it in. But there was something about like Marvel ended up doing something different anyway. So some of them, maybe it still was like, I don't know. I can't.
I think this is
now.
the time period where it was a transition between barcodes and the Spider-Man head that eventually showed up there. There was that little time period in between where they just did that.
Well, and
Yeah.
he was saying, so like the road obviously blends into that. And it's where he always signs because he's like, there's a perfect spot for it there.
Yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
he told that story, and I was starting to get a little bit confused. So when we walked away from the table, I was like, Kristan, I hope you remembered that, so you could tell your dad. Because
Clearly, I didn't remember it fully.
Definitely don't remember. I heard something about a barcode, a black square. I was like, I really hope you remembered that.
He was nice
So-
though.
so
He was
Yes,
He's
he
really
was.
old now, right? He has
Yeah,
to be really old.
he was older, but he was super nice.
Yes, he was.
Cool. Yeah, William Lee says, y'all might hate this, but I still want Whedon autograph too. Yeah, I kind of do too. I mean, the work is still awesome. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't need it.
yeah, I get it. And a 37 says, is this the series where Kitty's dad got in trouble with Japanese gangsters? Yes, this is the one. That's the story. Really good stuff. And, when I read that just made me more in love with Kitty. I was in love with Kitty for so long. Your mom's tired of hearing that story that I'm in love with Kitty, but
Same.
Oh.
okay. Now, of course, who took this picture? This picture is awesome.
The guy with him, one of his people,
Yeah, one of his peeps.
very nice guy.
Part of Roy Thomas's entourage.
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that you thought was Roy Thomas?
No.
No,
Different guy entirely. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this picture. I'm jealous at the same time, but I totally love it. I'm almost tempted to maybe get an 8x10 of this and put it on the wall next to my Roy Thomas trophies.
Mary, how
Aw,
do you feel about being on his wall?
I feel honored.
You know what? If I do that, I should probably mail it to you and make you sign it, right? Mail it and then mail
do
it
it.
back,
Love
and
that.
then Kristan signs it, and then eventually I get Roy Thomas to sign it.
Oh,
if
I knew it. I knew it was coming full circle.
And Roy Thomas will be like, "Who are these people? Why are they signing it?"
Yeah. That banner is cool back there too. You should have made off with that.
Well, that's how we knew it was him. I'm like, Kristan,
Yeah,
look at the hair. Look at the hair.
hair
like
is the
that's
same.
him. And I was
Definitely
like, oh,
Roy.
Yeah, that's him.
See, everyone should do that. Especially all the older creators, they should do that to help people because many people probably have never ever seen their face. They don't
Sure.
know I mean, you could be a fan of him your whole life and maybe never have seen his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm all for that too. I like name tags. Make it really easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at
Well-
me. I don't look like my feet hurt at all.
You look
No,
so
you look
happy.
happy-go-lucky. Yeah.
You're so happy for this to be done.
That's
Yeah.
probably what it is.
2 years in the making.
Yeah, Kristan used to always measure everything in years when she was younger. I guess she still does.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Well, that's going to take 4 years. That was one of your phrases, right?
That's true. Yeah, she does do that. It's like I spent a million years talking. We spent a million years in that guy's line.
I mean, it sort of felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, that rant was hilarious. It really was. It's spectacular.
Oh,
I was
thank you.
crying laughing, you know. I actually was going to prepare an ode to Roy Thomas for this, you know, and in defense of Roy and talk about all of his great achievements. But then I
Hey.
decided that would be better in a dedicated video. So I am going to make a Roy Thomas video. Someone suggested I do that anyway. So
There's no
Nice.
like. I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
I get it. I
It's
get
about
it.
my
You're-
experience.
I
in
don't think
life.
you're saying anybody was a bad guy in this. He's
It
a
was just
very
too much.
popular writer. He's there for only one day.
Mhm.
And so his line's long. They also throw him in the middle of a panel, and you had all that. So I don't think that's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roy. I wouldn't. Yeah, Roy is. And then also that one guy who came to tell you guys, yeah, sorry, we didn't know you had a panel. Like that was a volunteer, and it's like, yeah, no
Yeah.
one was in the wrong. It's just the situation is just it's the perfect storm for something like that, to where it's just like that coupled with your feet hurting.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect storm of bad for that to happen. But as you said, he was lovely and you got it done, which was great.
One thing about Roy Thomas, I'd be willing to bet, I don't know how you would prove this, but he has probably been to more cons in his life than any comic book creator ever. And I don't mean that I'm counting him as a fan, because he was actually a con. I think he was a con organizer very early on, back in the late 70s, mid 70s. He was like Mr. Comic Con, you know. And he, you know, of course, he has that, what started out as a fan magazine, Alter Ego. He's been doing that for, 40, 50 years? I don't know. So he was a total fan that became a pro. That's what this guy is. So.
Yeah, he thought it was both Roy and the one handler that we were dealing with. They both thought it was so awesome that Kristan was like getting all this stuff for you. They seemed to be like so into that. That's all they kept talking about, right, Kristan?
Yeah, and that one guy was super nice and sweet. The guy who took the photo, he was like, "Oh, I wish my dad
That's
was
awesome.
into this stuff. That's
Yeah.
awesome." And
Yeah.
and when I got the prints for you, you know, he would personalize the prints. So I was like, "Oh, you know," I said Larry, and then he's like, "You're not Larry," and I was like, "That's my dad. These are his Father's Day gifts." And then he signed the other one, and he was like, "Also to Larry." I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Wow, these are, you know." Like, they were all impressed about the kind of haul I was bringing back for you, Reid.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I thought they were perfect choices, but look at Buffy. She has really got her
Yeah,
butt in there.
that's what maybe I just looked at Reid and said Reid, because I was like,
Yeah.
Buffy.
She is, she's confused as to what's going on. Hey, you want to say something?
Oh,
Did you hear? Come on, give us a little something. Give us a little something more.
there she goes. She's gonna kick.
She's gonna kick
Yeah,
it.
she's kicking it.
Hates it. She hates the mic. She hates the mic. She's just gonna push the mic farther and farther away from me.
Johnny says, I'd appreciate a copy of that photo of the ladies with Roy. Great photo, quite cool. It is a spectacular image. It is. So you guys could start selling these prints, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
Yeah,
were
just sign
we were
them, I
talking
guess.
about, you know, I mentioned merch that I was gonna try to come up with a merch line for Kristan and Mary's reading update and for the Comic Slayer channel. And now I think we'll just have to do one. We'll do like a signed 8x10. It'll be like what
Right.
I got from Gary Busey on my Gary Busey signed photo.
Yeah, and I'll sign everyone like my feet hurt, and then, you know.
And I'll be like, yeah, they really do.
Maybe you could draw a little foot or have your signature form a little foot.
Yeah,
on that.
I'll work on that. Yeah.
William Lee says it would go viral if you clip the rant out.
People keep saying I should clip it out, so maybe I'll have to do that.
Are you a little nervous that Roy could potentially see it if you did that?
Well, but again, I don't say anything bad about him. So
No, you don't. You
True.
don't.
And I would
People
also
do that
like
on your
to
behalf,
say,
but
I would like to say, looking at Roy Thomas, he doesn't seem like he's up on the YouTubes.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Somebody in his camp could potentially show.
right.
His
Yeah.
kids or someone is like, someone's ranting about you.
Okay. And then the payoff. Well, I'll get to the big one later, but so these were, I guess, promo posters that Roy Thomas had at his table, 11 by 17 again. And on this one, let's see, I've got some notes here. Yeah, I never could find the artist for this one. There's a signature, but I can't make it out. But Roy signed it to Larry.
I thought
Pretty
it
awesome.
looked, because I was trying to figure that out too when Kristan brought it back. Because I was just like, because it almost, like, at first glance here, like looking at it smaller, it almost looks like Neil Adams' signature, and that's what caught my eye at first, because I was like, that's not Neil Adams' art.
No.
But do you see what I mean? Like it has that arc that Neil's signature has, and then I was like, oh, well, it could be it could have been like, because Neil's two sons both do comics, and I was like, oh, it could be another Adams or something. Plus, Larry's an older guy, Neil was an older guy. Like, I was like, that kind of would like run in the same circle, but I couldn't figure it out either when Kristan brought the print back to the table.
And I Googled the crap out of this. I did a reverse image search and all that, and I did find it on a page, but they didn't give the credit.
Oh.
So,
well, sound off in the comments if you ever figure it out, or if you did this art or something like that, because I think it's a really cool print.
Know.
I think it's a nice print. I like that it's got him on it, so it like makes it a little bit more fun
these are characters he either created or helped develop,
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool too, for like an artist to have something like that, because then it like gives you something you can bring back that's big and frameable, and he's in it, and so it was really cool.
Yeah,
or writer,
yeah, I like it a lot. It's going on the wall.
You're gonna have to have a whole one. Oh yeah, go ahead.
This one I was able to find who did it with the reverse image search, and the artist is selling these prints on his eBay store. His name is Joe St. Pierre. Never heard of him, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Apparently, there's a 500 print run done that he's selling on eBay that has Roy's signature and I guess his signature.
Interesting.
Do you know how much they were?
I can't remember. Seems like it was like maybe $20, or no, it was more than that. I think it might have been like 59 or something.
Oh, okay.
It was up there.
Kristen's wanting to know if she got a deal.
They were 25.
Did he sign that one there, or did he pull it from a stack of signed?
No, he signed it.
Okay, so yeah.
I will
probably
say,
that artist has all 500 of the other.
I will say, I'm on the fence about his signature. I like that I can read it so I can know who he is.
Right.
But to me, 100% looks like it says Roy Henderson.
Or
like it's readable.
Roy
but
Homer, I can see.
Yeah, it looks like
Homer.
It looks like a different name. So sorry, but that was our biggest thing, because that's what
we were judging all the signatures. Yeah,
that's right. You know what I just figured out? Just random sidebar. When we were discussing on Thursday, I was like, "There's a third show that I was discussing for us for the three of us to do."
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't remember what it is, but now I remember it, and we should just do it. We should also do it with Larry, because we've gotten so many signatures for Larry over the years. But we should do a full rated. We should do a tier list rating convention people's signatures.
Yeah,
nice.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Johnny wants to know if the previous image have a Kubert autograph. I don't think so. I've zoomed in on it a lot, and it doesn't look like Kubert to me. I mean, in the art, definitely doesn't look like Kubert either to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it looked a little bit like Aaron Lepresti, but not exactly. I don't mean the signature, I mean the art, so I don't know. So then this magnificence right here. This is the ultimate signature cover, I think, maybe. For me. I don't know. I love it a lot. But King Conan 1, which he wrote, of course.
Who did the art on that cover?
That is Sal Buscema.
That's Sal? Okay.
John Buscema, inked by
Art.
Ernie Chan. Yeah. John Buscema. He did the inside too.
Okay. That's I figure because I know he did Buscema did so many of those early covers.
Yeah. Like 40 years worth.
I just don't know about that hand. That's getting me a little bit.
The one hand on that's
the
like
hand on the right corner, right bottom corner.
See, I like that hand.
Perfect.
That hand. Well, that hand is drawn dope. And honestly, from an artist standpoint, I'd be like, if I drew a hand that good, I wouldn't care what was attached to it or if it made no sense in that. I'm keeping that freaking hand drawn in there.
I think it looks weird.
I think it's perfect.
It's perfectly drawn.
There's a lot of gaps between those fingers. I don't know.
From the angle, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect hand. Also,
with really big hands.
It's your hand.
Would look like that.
That's the aspect. You're now in.
But I can't even make that shape, is what I'm saying. That thumb is like down a lot.
There's a lot of desperation in the reach. Come on, really do it. You can do it. See, there you go. There it is.
It's not the same.
And people's hands are different. You know, some people have a really wide part here.
Don't hand to shame this person.
Yeah, Kristan, come on.
I just don't know about it. That's all.
To me, this cover is dynamic. You can feel the tension and the movement, and I think it's perfect.
Color's perfect. The coloring on that is perfect.
Yeah.
The logo design, the layout.
The best ever,
perfect.
maybe.
I will say, I really appreciate where he signed it. I think that looks cool.
I agree.
Yeah,
good.
That's always the trouble with some of these because you never know like where they.
Johnny says, "Wow."
Like where, it's like what Al Ming that what he said about how he always has that spot where he can sign.
Right.
So many of these, especially these older covers, you don't have that option. I'm sorry, Kristan. I know you're chomping at the bit to say something.
You're gonna make me forget it too.
Go ahead.
I think I forgot it.
Good. Nailed it.
Success.
That's so mean. Oh, I hate when people sign through the title.
Oh, sure.
I hate that.
Yeah, I'm not in love with that usually either.
I hate it, but I also get it depending on where it is because, especially, and I think some part of me, truthfully, I think I've never seen a writer sign through the logo or through the title. I've only seen artists do that. And sometimes I feel like artists do that as a slight to I don't want to cover up my art with signing this, with signing it. So I'm gonna put it through something I didn't draw. I do think there's a little bit.
Johnny says the thumb on the hand looks double jointed.
I will agree. It's a double. Yeah, it's definitely a double jointed hand. But it's just so dynamic.
Yeah.
I think it rules.
It's not my taste in hands. All right. It's just not.
All right.
Kristan, you are something.
Here we are with Conan 100, The Death of Baylit. It's the same team here, John Buscema and Ernie Chan. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, let's talk about his autograph placement. Listen, I think it's a good placement, but he should have done maybe a silver because it's blending into the hair too much.
Sure,
yeah, silver.
I will also say silver Sharpies suck. As a person who uses a silver Sharpie to sign certain things, I hate it. I can't ever get them right. It's to the point now where I'm about to just only buy those Posca paint pens. And because I've seen Daniel Warren Johnson do that, and I'm like, that's the only way I'm going to sign covers anymore. Which, granted, I have books more than I have minis, so more than I have floppies, so I don't sign a lot of covers. But it's I can't handle it. So the black Sharpie is the only thing that signs crisp every time on a cover.
I also don't like how his name is up in the Barbarian, but it is still like, where else would you put it? That is the placement to go.
Yeah, the
Unless
only
you put
other
it
place
across his chest. If you want to cross Conan's chest.
yeah, that would have sucked.
Like a tattoo.
Or like down, like under her feet, like
Hmm.
that would you kind of do there. But then you don't want to cover up, you don't want to cover up John.
How much better would this composition be without that stupid barcode box?
Barcode, yeah, the barcode box does kind of break it.
Yeah,
because the layout of everything else, the top.
This is a great issue.
I love that you have like a dead lady and like muscles and swords and stuff, and it still has like the Comics Code approval on the top. I just find that funny.
But look at John Buscema's face here, the face he did, the anguish. How perfect is that? Huh?
Yeah, it's spot on.
Yeah, I love it. This makes me so happy, you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, good.
Yeah. William Lee says Claremont signs right on the logo.
I was thinking of him when I said it. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I forgot. I couldn't remember who it was. I know somebody last year that when we got Heroes Con halls for Larry, I couldn't remember if it was Claremont but didn't Klaus Janson also do that?
Yeah, I think he did.
I
don't have it in front of me, but I think he did.
Those were the two that I think I remembered being like, this is weird. Like, yeah, but I mean, if a writer would sign right through the title, that would make more sense to me, because it's like the writer is like, I didn't do the art, so I'm not going to cover the art. I did the writing. I'll cover what I did. Right. Like that makes sense to me. But I also know, especially these older covers. I feel like nowadays sometimes people like getting covers signed is like a huge pull for people buying floppies, like 90% of the time. So I do feel like covers that are made today kind of like have little spots made for it. I know, like when I do a book, as sad as it is, like my title page for my most recent books, I either have a spot that I'm like, I can definitely draw or do a sketch here, or I leave it intentionally more blank or something like that. I do that. I've done that since the Gigi Allen book, because I don't know where to sign. Like, so, and there's a big, thought goes into that. And I don't think that definitely wasn't happening back then with some of these, which is why these covers are also so dynamic and beautiful, but they're also hard to get signed and look right.
Johnny says, I like how the autograph is seemingly one with the cover art, or blends in nicely with the cover.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. But this, probably my favorite single issue of all time, I'm guessing, maybe. Definitely probably my favorite Robert E. Howard adaptation story in comic form is this By This Axe I Rule, Cole 11, which of course Roy Thomas wrote that, and he edited it too. But yeah, so this was a real grail for me right here. This makes me very, very happy.
Such a good cover.
Yeah. Mike Plug. He doesn't get enough credit anymore, I don't think. People have forgotten about how great Mike Plug was. So what did he charge for these, Kristan? Is this the one you said was donation, or?
Yeah, he was taking donations for the local animal shelter, which was cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
super cute. Like, I mean, a lot of people do the Hero Initiative donations especially at Heroes Con, which I think is great, and I love it. Like when you see people do that, I think it shows just like a little bit more. Like, not saying that people who don't do it aren't genuine, but I feel like you're like, this guy is here. He knows he's not selling a ton of prints. That's not why people come here. They come here to get stuff signed by him because it's older. His back catalog of work is huge. So there's no, like, I love that he's doing that. Yeah. It makes me like, that's why you look so happy in that picture, Kristan. It's because you're like, this guy I didn't wait and destroy my feet and then pay this guy $75
right
to sign these. I donated to an animal shelter and met him, and he was very nice. So it's like there's all those things play into it.
No, it's true, and that I really love seeing that. I think I I gave him like $60,
Good.
and the prints were like 50 together, and you had 3 books, so that was essentially 10. That was a donation,
Right.
so I just gave him all that.
Awesome. And Roy Thomas is on the Hero Initiative board, so he's part of
awesome.
that. Yep. Bill Weist here says Plug is an amazing artist. Yep, sure is. Johnny says, Larry, you truly are blessed to have a daughter and friends who would do all this for you. This all seems so special. Yeah, it's totally special and totally appreciated. You guys did great. Reid, thanks for driving.
No problem.
Mary, thanks for keeping Kristan kind of from going
Alive.
over the rails.
Keeping me alive.
She definitely kept her alive. She came back for that water in the Roy
Yeah.
Thomas line. And
Yeah,
that.
I had to do a mad dash through a con to get Kristan her water bottle. So
That's very nice of you.
you know, you got to look out
Yeah.
for our little our family here.
Yeah, this is so awesome. These are the best scores ever, for me.
Honestly, Dad, I wish you'd given me more of his books, because after waiting in that line, I was like, man, you just have 3.
Oh,
Well, I
yeah.
certainly could have. It wouldn't have been a problem.
Well, I know. Well, last year we had such a hard. We couldn't even find him on that Saturday.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, I
last,
don't know where they put him last year. It was so like we looked like everywhere. It felt like, but it may have been one of those things. Like Mary and I couldn't find Al for like ever.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Where is this guy?
Well, then we got into that discussion about how I think when everybody's setting up, every table has a specific number set to it. And when people come into a con, they're looking at a map to make sure they hit all of their favorite creators. But a lot of times, I guess during table setup, people kind of put their tablecloths down, they do their setup, and they take that number off. And I think it's sort of maybe a bad idea to do that.
Yeah.
It's rough because like from a table standpoint, like it's hard because the only way, like, I don't know, most people bring a tablecloth.
Yeah, of course.
And the hard part with that is that if you don't pay attention to the overhead, like little island signs that kind of tell you what the section this is, there's no way you're going to find anything.
Yeah.
And that's tough, but also like, cause I've toyed around with that being like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't bring a tablecloth. But then if you putting anything, cause they come with a cloth, like they're not just bare tables. Some conventions
shouldn't they have
like
a standardized deal where all the numbers are taped to the front of the tablecloth, so then everyone would look in the same spot for the number?
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Good.
I don't think any of the number thing matters a lot if you have a banner behind you. The problem
That's
with
with your
Al is he
name,
didn't have
like
a banner.
Roy Thomas. Yeah.
Al didn't have a banner. I didn't know what this guy looked like. So that's the problem we were having. We were like, okay, wait, where's the number? I think that's him. Is it him?
Well, and a lot of these,
like,
a lot of these older guys probably don't have banners. That's why I was surprised when you showed me that picture. I was like, oh, Roy Thomas has a banner. Like,
most of them don't.
That's because they're not messing with it. They're not gonna. I mean, I bet somebody probably did that for Roy, for him to do these, because it's like, that's especially a writer. Like, I'm not saying he has no great graphic design stuff, but putting together a banner, like making a banner, isn't exactly super easy. Like a lot of artists get new banners new convention banners every year because they want to have something different.
Right.
Now, his signature here looks better than on the others, I think. You can kind of tell it's Thomas now. And I like where he put it. I mean, he didn't obscure any of the art,
Yeah.
Yeah. I typically don't like through the letters, but it's like, where else would he go with this one? Like, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I love it. So you guys want to look at the FOMO? We have a few minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's hit that FOMO list.
Okay.
All right, Larry, start bracing yourself. She's looking.
Okay, this Aphrodite 9, the complete oversized hardcover. You see, that was supposed to come out this week according to Image's website, and it did not. And I can't find any information about it anywhere else. I have the singles, but I love that art so much that I kind of wanted it oversized, I don't know. And by the way, Kristan, you were saying you don't have to worry about this stuff going out of print. Just buy it as you want. Guess what dropped off of IST 2 days ago?
Uh-oh.
Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 2. All the covers, they're all gone.
Yeah, but here's the deal. They're going to reprint it before that last volume comes out.
But that was a reprint, I think.
No, it was not a reprint.
It wasn't?
No.
Volume 1 definitely was, but
Volume 2 was not. And they reprinted Volume 1 when 2 came out. So
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't. And also,
I don't have to worry about that.
I will
I'm not
also
worried about
say, someone was talking to me. I forget who it was, but we were having a discussion at the convention just briefly on this. And it's like that there's the difference between a reprint and a second printing. And I'm like,
there can be, but
well, I'm asking this purely for the fact, like, I know, and again, because I'm not a heavy big 2 reader, so I'm asking, are these like do omnibus have a second printing, or is it just they do one printing and then they do a reprint? Like a reprint, it would be technically a second printing.
I think they call them second printings.
Okay,
but I don't.
Because I know certain things are different. Like I know, because like it's, single issues get second printings. They don't call those reprints, right?
Right. Yeah, a reprint would be like where they do the facsimile covers and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
Facsimile
Gotcha.
edition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this Aphrodite is a reprint. Is that
Yes,
right?
because it came out in 2015, and it's
2015,
supposed to
yeah.
have a second printing now, reprint, whatever you want to call it.
It's not on previews, so maybe they pulled it.
Yeah. So, but now Ultimate Spider-Man 2 does still show up on cheap graphic novels, but it's dropped off of IST.
Do you care that much? You've read the material. It's going to get reprinted when there's another volume.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not
what I'm
crying
saying.
over here, but I'm.
I mean, you're kind of crying.
All right. Let's see in the chat here, Johnny. Apparently, Alex Ross will do banners for those he likes, wants to support. I'm guessing Roy has quite a few who love supporting him with a banner as well. Yeah, so that was probably a volunteer, maybe,
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the 30 says they will reprint USN with every subsequent volume release. I think some books also get restocked. Yeah, that happens, and we never have any clue when or, right? It's always
It's
like
like
a
a
mystery
DC thing.
And that's also because I've heard in some recent interviews with some people that I follow and listen to, people talk about like Diamond's warehousing, and I know like as we've had new distributors come into play in recent years, they're finding whole pallets of books.
Wow.
And stuff that's like, oh, I thought this was out of print. Oh, we got a restock. And it's like, because it's not a reprinting, it's they found old stock.
Right.
they found more. Yeah.
And that happens, I think that's happening more and more, especially like it happened a lot more back in the 90s because there were so many different distributors. And now we've going from the Diamond model where we just had one for so long, and now we have Lunar and we have these other distributors coming through.
It's definitely a stranger time, because
It's
of the
weird
different...
because it's yeah, it is. And so many publishers also, like that's a huge thing. Publishers are doing their own distribution while simultaneously working with people like Diamond. It's the same, like I didn't know Microcosm, my publisher, works in tandem with Diamond because they have to for comics, but they don't want to. Like they handle their own distribution. They have their own warehouse. Like they want the comic shops just to order from them, but comic shops won't do it because they're like, we have this weird system that we only order from one thing. So it's just it's so weird. It's really wild.
Yeah, it's very disjointed now, and I mean it's good, I guess, but boy, it's sure hard to track now.
I think it's good in general. It's not good for the Larry FOMO list.
You're right. Speaking of that, I got to show you this. This was a late edition, but I didn't have it in this slideshow. I had to put it up separate. But look at the Time 2 omnibus down here. I had a date there like a month ago, and now it just says 2023. Well, if you go over to Image's website. You may have to get real close to see this. I don't think there's a way for me to zoom.
I'm
here,
not.
but-
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna read it. I can't read it.
Well, it says the release date is. Shoot, I'm going to have to bring it up because I can't read it here. Let me
It's
bring up my
December
other copy.
31st, 2099.
Jeez.
No, I think it's
$29.99.
$28.99. 28.
2999 is what it says.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I guess we could take it off the list then.
Well, you see, this collects some old material, but then Chaikin, I think, was supposed to do a little story to tie it all together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be what's happening is we're waiting on Howard Chaikin to finish that little bit so they can actually print this thing. And so now I don't know if Image put that date there as a joke or a mistake.
It's
I
not
will-
a joke. That always happens when they're
I was
waiting on
gonna
a
say-
date.
Yeah,
When
I
they're
was
waiting
gonna
on a
say
date, that always happens.
that's like a
Well,
standard
it didn't
rule.
used
Like,
to say that.
well, he probably thought he would get it done, and then was like, it's not happening.
Yeah, because I've been watching this. I've got a link on my desktop. I checked this periodically, and it didn't always say 2099. So I don't know, I thought that was funny. So yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to come out. Maybe next year. So I asked you before, Kristan, but I don't remember your answer. Are you going to get Maestro, which would sort of be volume 6 of the Peter David Incredible Hulk Omni series?
No, I'm gonna wait for that to be cheap.
But you might get it eventually, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if it's ever cheap.
Kristen,
And
are
what do
you
you mean
gonna
by
get?
cheap?
Are you getting Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4?
Maybe when it gets cheap, because it will probably.
Or it
How
might
about
just
you?
disappear off IST.
I am going to get it. And I'm probably not going to wait that long because that's when I'll be angry with if I miss
Yeah,
out.
that's
and
true.
I just don't want to wait. So, and did I read the other 3? No, but I have them.
You know what, Mary?
They're yours.
Mary, you're right.
They're-
I should get it too.
You're like, twist my arm.
You're
Fine.
right. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I don't think you need that Nice House on the Lake Deluxe hardcover. I'm just saying.
That's a real bummer that you
It is.
say the ending sucked.
Yep. It's just not worth having on my shelf.
Mary,
for
did you
sure.
read the ending?
I didn't read it at all. So I am
Oh.
actually tempted to get that even. And Kristen saying it sucked makes me want to get it even more.
Mary,
Yes.
you should read it on Hoopla though. Don't waste your money.
Good point. Good
Yeah,
point.
don't waste your money. I love the first volume. Loved it.
I know. It's crazy. I can't think of another title that happened to you.
Yeah,
With,
it was a
right?
bummer. It was a
Yeah.
bummer.
But I don't know. I don't know. I almost have to get it. You say I don't, but it's going to be pretty cheap too. It'll be about what, $23 or something.
I mean, at that
Mm.
point, why would you not just get like the second trade? Because you have the first trade.
Mm. It's not a
Come on.
deluxe hardcover, Kristen.
Okay, so you get the hardcover. Give me that trade back I gave you.
Well, if I do, I would. So,
Okay.
so any more thoughts on this?
Reid, do you have any thoughts?
I don't. I never have thoughts on this because I just don't know. Like, half of these things aren't even on my radar.
Well,
But that's sweet.
that's part of the problem. They're on mine. Yeah.
It's true though, right? If you follow new releases, like I fall in and out of following new releases, but I swear the second I get back into it, I'm spending more money buying stuff. But when I didn't know it was even coming out, it's funny what we do with this hobby.
Mhm.
So here's my schedule. See, I managed to get ahead about 3 or 4 videos on my Monday releases.
Nice.
Reid, you need to make sure you watch the top 10 Dream original graphic novel projects
Okay.
because, well, I'm not going to tell you why, but
Okay.
I got a suggestion for you in there. So
Oh, okay. All right. Mm. Are you going to become my agent?
Oh,
No, it's just you just made my top 10 there. You made my top 10. So
Oh, well, thank you.
very cool.
on that particular top 10, which is what this week. Yeah.
The holiday.
Yep. And that the Friend of the Devil graphic novel review, that is with my cousin Elmo. I know he has a few fans among my subscribers, so
I enjoy Elmo.
yeah. Kristan, you enjoy Elmo, right?
Yeah. I've known him for a long time.
Yes, you have. Which, you know what? You need to come over and we need to do a video from my library now that I can mic 2 people easily, you know?
Okay.
Nice.
You haven't invited me.
Well, you're invited.
Okay.
Have you read World of Black Hammer Library 5 yet?
I haven't.
Mary, you have or haven't?
I haven't read that at all, so I'm
Oh,
way
you haven't?
behind.
Okay.
I know. I will someday.
I thought this was a lot better than the last one. A lot of good artists in this one. Yep.
I'm curious about that Twilight Man book.
Yeah, that's Rod Serling and the Birth of Television is the rest of that title.
Nice.
Pretty great. Yeah. So, and as always, I got to thank my Fantastic Four Patreon members here for helping me keep it going. So, y'all have anything else to say about the con and the quest for these autographs?
It was a good time,
Yes.
except for that part.
Well, it gave
but
us
you
a
pulled
lot
it
of good
all off.
stories. Yeah.
Beautifully.
I mean, I got all the ones you asked for and a bonus. So I got to tell you, Chris Claremont's line was right across from Roy Thomas.
Yes.
And the other bonus on there was Chris Claremont. And I was like, absolutely not. His line was also ridiculous.
yeah.
I got on that Roy Thomas line and I was like, it's not happening, Mary. Mary, it's not happening.
And I do think, I will say, as the person who was by your side, I do think some of your feelings were very much feet induced.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
100%.
really do feel for you because I've been there with foot pain and it is awful. So I definitely feel for you. So, but
Yeah, hopefully
Reid, this shirt
time.
is still awesome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that. I got that for Larry for Christmas.
awesome.
Yeah. Let's see here. William Lee says, I'm sad Wolverine Volume 2 is no longer on red tag. Yeah, because they don't stay on there. James Abel says, just late on the Nice House on the Lake. I guess he meant wait till it's done, then buy it. The book ends with a cliffhanger for a second part. What? So the hardcover doesn't end it?
I don't even remember. I just remember I was mad.
It didn't feel like an ending to you? The second trade?
I don't remember.
You
I
don't-
read too much. I don't remember. That was a while ago. It was months
Okay,
ago.
okay. Great Saturday morning with stream and IST delivery.
Oh,
What'd you get,
Awesome.
William?
Awesome.
yeah. Cliffhanger.
Yeah, what did
from
you get, William? So, anything else? We did it. We got through the whole list and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Yep. Well, I guess I won't keep you 3 anymore, but it was awesome. Glad you were here, and really thankful for the cover signs and the prints and all of that. It was awesome. So I will be doing the Roy Thomas video though.
Cool.
Maybe I need to clip that out and stick it in there. No.
They'll try to take my views.
Oh,
You don't need them.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you definitely need to make that standalone.
Yeah, if I figure out how, sure.
I'm sure Reid could do it.
Yeah, I'll figure
William
it
Lee
out.
got Uncanny 5 and Deadly Class 4.
Nice.
See,
I'm
I
waiting
need
for
the
my-
Deadly Classes, but I don't have any of them, so I'm so far behind. I bet there's some you can't even get now.
No, I think you can get them all. They just reprinted them all. They're very pretty and big. I'm waiting on my volume 4 now.
Have you read those?
I've
yet?
read I've read this one and like half the next one,
Nice.
I think. So I need to reread. I need to go back, reread, and go through them. But yeah,
I feel like I bought the first one. I don't even know when those came out, and I just couldn't get into it.
Oh.
I think I
Yeah.
sold it, but that doesn't mean anything. Could have been my mood.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Well, I like that art in there, Kristan.
yeah. You want to see them?
Yeah,
I
hold
think
on,
you
I'm gonna
will.
make you big.
I think you will.
Do you know who it is?
Wes Craig.
Wes Craig's the writer. I thought. Is he the
No.
artist? Oh no, it's Rick
He's
Remender,
the
of
artist.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry. No, I was thinking the opposite.
Those are made so well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really nice. You don't like this?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I thought so.
See, now you just added more to my FOMO. Look at you.
You know, what are you gonna do? They're in print though. You're fine.
Mhm.
Cool. William Lee says Remender is making his whole library available again.
Wow.
Nice. The whole 4 volumes, about 50 issues, is reasonably quick to read. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm almost finished with Hulk Omnibus Volume 1, finally. I should finish that this
Nice.
weekend, probably. And man, the last the last like 10 or 20 issues have been the best.
Oh,
The ones
good.
before that, not so much. But Marie Severin's art comes in toward the end of that Omni. She's fabulous. You guys know her art?
I do.
Reid does. Reid
I
shake
don't
his
know
head.
if I do.
And in the last few I've read, Herb Trimpe is inking her. And the Hulk is starting to look like more like the Hulk that we've, become accustomed to in the modern times,
Right.
Right? So it started with those Tales to Astonish issues with Marie Severin and Herb Trimpe.
Mhm.
And, Stan Lee's writing gets so much slag from a lot of young people, but he really developed over the years. He got much better. So I think this might be Stan Lee peak writing toward the end of this Omni. But he still hasn't figured out how the Hulk changes. Like we all know the lore now, right? He gets mad, he changes into the Hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the first several years of the Hulk, that's not what triggered it. Stan Lee has this hokey thing where he says, well, when his heart rate goes beyond a certain point, for any reason, that he changes into the Hulk. And then he says that he changes back to Banner when that pulse rate is changed again radically, which doesn't make any sense at all. Because, I mean, if you change into the Hulk and you're battling some creature, isn't your pulse rate going to go up?
Right.
So wouldn't you be changing into the Hulk every time you punch somebody or changing it back into Banner? So it's
Or
like
when you exercise.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Stan Lee couldn't quite figure out the hook, during these first few years. So I don't know. It's interesting. Yep. But I shouldn't have said any of that because I'm going to put all that in my review of it. But that's okay.
That's okay. Little sneak peek.
Yeah, we got a teaser.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Your mom's telling me she's getting ready to get lunch ready.
Nice.
My mom,
Smart.
not everybody else. My mom.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
Kristan's
like,
mom.
I'm like, it's lunchtime. Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, when you live out in the country like this, you eat. It's not just that. It's we go to work really early, so we eat lunch much earlier than most people. And
We
I
still
love
haven't
that.
had breakfast.
See, I had
Yeah,
breakfast, but I could eat lunch right now. I'm always ready to have a meal.
yeah. I think they did the pulse heart rate thing with the second Hulk film.
Oh,
Time for a good week. All right. Thanks, William Lee, Johnny. Thanks everybody who came in the chat, and thanks Buffy for showing up there.
Yeah, Buffy showing up at the end. You want to say something real quick? You want to say another thing for the end?
Say bye.
Come on, say bye. Say bye. Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah. Thank you again, Mary, for helping out and keeping
sure.
Kristan sane.
Of course. Thanks for having me on today too.
Yeah, this was great. We'll have to do something like this again sometime.
Sure.
Yeah. Not just a video, but I'll send you for more autographs. That's
Yeah.
All right. Well, just go through Kristan and she'll give me the info.
Yeah.
Go through my people.
Yes. Yes.
right. Okay, I think we'll end it here.
All
Oh,
right,
Marcelo
bye.
just came in and said hello when we're leaving. Okay,
Oh,
Bye.
Bye,
bye.
Marcelo.
Bye, Marcelo.
Bye bye.